Oh, what is up, everyone? It's been a while. It's been a while since we did a D&D&Chill. Last time we did one was Legos. And yeah, it's been a bit. Um so guess to get you caught up with what's been going on and why I've kind of been AWOL for a bit. Well, if you follow the Discord over at kelpscorner.com, you'll know that I recently had a kid. So I've been very busy, not getting a whole lot of sleep. Um, Today I think I got about 4 or 5 hours of sleep in total. But yeah, we're managing, we're getting through it, we're learning, this wonderful experiment called parenthood. So, but yeah, we're back. We're hanging out. I have a bit of like a cold. I've like a stuffy nose and whatnot. Head's kind of hurting. So, but I wanted to go live tonight. We have a lot of exciting news, some things to work on. So, yeah, why don't we jump into everything? Put on your seat. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's definitely been a a learning experience between my wife and I, trying to like figure out the little odds and ends of the baby. My daughter's name is Kiva. But it's, figuring out what works for her and what can work for us. And just taking our time with her, and yeah, just trying to be patient as much as possible, and getting through it day after day. And luckily I was able to take some time off work. That was a plus. So I was I was able to take 8 weeks. So we're able to dedicate this time to her, and spend it with her and get to know her, and give her the best starting off point that we can. So I know if Aaron was here, he'd be yelling at me for not drinking water. But yeah, I want to talk about some things, and just kind of hang out and discuss some stuff. One of the big things right now, I was just looking at here on the D&D Beyond main page. They got out the new Valentine's Day stuff for this month's perks. So we got some cool stuff here. I want to check out and see what's if they have like a new background or something. I'm very curious. So perk, oh, hi, Bo. That might be new. I don't think it is. 11, no, yeah, that wouldn't be new. Yeah, 521. Yeah, no, I don't think those are new. Nah, that's a grung, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they added anything new yet for February as per the backgrounds. But I know that the frame did they did add new frames. Yep, right there. So animated mended heart. Oh, that would be great for Cooper. Animated arrow heart. Nice. Animated lantern. Let's go closer. Animated lantern. The animated dragon, yes. This is the big one. This is the big one. It is now the year of the dragon. So we got all kinds of cool stuff. And actually, speaking of cool stuff, they announced today. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the music. It's about where it normally is. They actually announced today that where did I see that? Where was that? Is this it? Yes, here we go. So they announced today the release dates for the 2024 books. The Vecna Eye of Ruin coming out in May. The Making of Original D&D. This is going to be like a big history, you know, a lot of behind the scenes history on the game, things that haven't really been talked about and stuff like that. Quest from the Infinite Staircase is another anthology book. So I'm super excited to see that because, I mean, like it says, it's 6 classic D&D adventures. So whether they mean classic as in old, like previous editions, or like classic as in like their design, but I really hope it's something like Tales from the Yawning Portal. So that is my hope. I'm going to look more into it later. And then we have the release dates for the 2024, the 1 D&D content, the Player's Handbook, the DMG, and the Monster Manual coming out in September, November, and February, respectively. That's not a long time. That is not a long way away. I'm not going to lie. September 17th is only 7 months away. And that just seems a lot sooner than I expected it. I honestly thought it was going to be closer to like November, December. But boy, oh boy, are we in for a treat. And then we get a little bit of a 4-month gap from for the players, or for the Dungeon Master's Guide, and then kind of another like a 3-month gap up to the Monster Manual. So we'll have a lot of content to look at when those times come around. That is for sure. Oh, I didn't see this. A Lego building set complete with minifigures. I did hear a little bit about like official D&D Lego, but I don't know for sure. Treats from Pop-Tarts to enjoy. What the fuck are these? Hold on. D&D Pop-Tart? These are all old ones. Yeah, I know they had voting on it a while ago. And I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the one with Venom Fang. I think it's the one with the Green Dragon Venom Fang. I don't know. I'm very curious about this Pop-Tart thing. Hold on one second. What Lego set won the D&D Pop-Tart? What the fuck? This submission will be part of the 50 years of D&D celebrations. Okay, so it is this one. It is this one. Dragon's Keep Journey's End. It's definitely not Venom Fang. And you run to catch the sun, but it's sinking, racing around to come up behind you again. It's a relative, but you're older. Yeah. Yeah, this is sick. Can I bring these up? Yeah, let's. Fuck you, I hate WebP. Okay. So that looks pretty awesome. I mean, you got a dragon on a tower. I mean, you got a green dragon on a tower, so it's spitting poison. It looks like you got a wizard there. I'm guessing this is like a dwarf fighter and like some paladin. They almost have like a purple face. Not exactly sure what that would be. This is obviously a barbarian, and they have a tambourine, so I'm guessing that's the bard. We got a crossbow there. We got a bow and arrow against the tree. What else we got? Okay, we get a better look at the wizard. And we got obviously a beholder. Some kind of egg. I wonder if that's like a dragon egg or something. I'm only here to lurk because I'm at work till 1. Oof, sorry, buddy. Well, thanks for hanging out. Okay, we got a rogue, or we got, I guess, rogue or ranger. That's probably more the rogue. They look like a pirate of some kind. Damn, this looks like a big set. That is sick. Oh my god, that looks so cool. I'm 100% getting this. Like, there is no doubt in my mind that I'm gonna get this. Oh, sick. There's the characters. Okay. So yeah, we got the beholder. We got a purple-faced paladin. So this looks like an orc with the green. It looks like an orc rogue. Probably a human wizard. Funny enough, with the dark skin, this could be, well, it probably isn't, but let's hold on, let me pull this up. Where we at? Dragon of Icespire Peak. No, I don't want Dragon of Icespire Peak. I want the continuation. Stormlight Wrath. I want the House of Thalavar. So Galio Elibro. Okay. He is a Rameshi mage. Now the thing is, if you did not know, no, the race is the minifig. They can be anything. That's true. Yeah, Rameshi are oftentimes have darker complexion. So that would be interesting if that was like somebody related to Galio. Then we obviously have, you know, human barbarian. We got a ranger, we got a bard. Because that's gotta be a tambourine. That looks like a tambourine. And then we have a paladin. So sick. I am all for this. I want this whenever it comes out. Cannot wait. Ooh. Cannot wait. I want to know about D&D Pop-Tart snacks. What does that mean? What do they say on D&D next? Yeah, I don't know what this is. It says treats from Pop-Tarts to enjoy during your game sessions. I just want to know if is it like something different? You know, is it like mini Pop-Tarts? I don't know. Are they just themed? Like, is it just like D&D art on the box? I have no clue. Not a clue. Dragon tarts. Oh, God. What is this? 9 Dungeon Master lessons from Baldur's Gate 3. Be open to most problems having multiple solutions. Yeah, that's true. Don't ever get yourself locked into only giving your players one choice. Be willing to pivot. Yeah. If your players just turn around and want to do something different, go that way. Except that some things you create won't get used. Yes. That is a hard truth. You will spend... I remember... So, funny enough, on this... I remember running my Phandalin 5 campaign. And I had a scenario... yeah, that never happened with... Yes. So, in the P5 campaign, there was a situation where the players had to get some information, and one of the ways that they could get information was by going to this place. I'll have to see. Miss Animal Handling speaks, yeah, solves everything. Yeah, I mean, not completely wrong. But the P5 crew, back when they were in Neverwinter, had the opportunity to go to the Moonstone Mask, which is a tavern, a very notable tavern in Neverwinter. And the thing was that they were going to be able to go there to get information about some different characters. These there were these enigmatic characters that were showing up in Neverwinter, and it was playing into a slightly bigger backstory, or a slightly bigger story that just never seemed to really like grip the party enough. And I threw some bits and pieces in, and there was an opportunity for them to go to the Moonstone Mask. I had this whole map set up. It was like all intrigue, and it was very much like heavy social encounter, a lot of intrigue, trying to resolve things in like very stealthy manner, and really playing up the roleplay aspect. The thing was that the party more or less got the information they needed in a different way, and because of that, they did not need to go to the Moonstone Mask. Like, it was like that thing. And had the players gone there, they would have learned information about yeah, I did. I walked away to do something, and you guys discussed it. And because I was like, hey, I was like going to the bathroom or something, and you guys were like, yeah, no, we really don't need to go there anymore. And so, I mean, I had all this material, and I didn't really get to use it. And the thing is, if you are a DM and you have a bunch of material that you've created, like it says here, character, scene, loot, side quests, you can, in a lot of cases, you can, if your players don't go down those paths, you can just redirect that path to intersect the road that they do take later on. Okay. There's this classic joke of, It's like, all right, we're going on an adventure. You come to a spooky mansion that's covered in fog, and the players are like, no, thanks. Let's not do this. And it's like, okay, well, where do you want to go? Let's go out to sea, and let's see if there's adventure out at sea. It's like, okay, you get in a boat, you land on an island. There's a spooky mansion covered in fog. So like, there's that stuff. And that's one of those things where you can sometimes put that stuff there. What I was planning at Moonstone Mask can't really go anywhere else. But also what I eventually played up with that kind of, you know, made it so that had they gone to Moonstone Mask at that point, they wouldn't have been able to resolve it at all. And yeah, it sucks, but the reality is like, if your players decide, hey, this is not where we wish to go, you can't force them. You can't make them go there just because you have stuff planned. You know, and it is what it is. But, you know, you do want to take that stuff and not let it, you know, die out completely. Let it be, you know, built into something else. But you've put in the work and then they've created more work. That's true. The DM's job is never done. I forgot about my lake and might have lost my Gengar. Let's look at the calendar on that one. The full moon is still to come. The full moon is still to come. All right. Build on players' choices, but as a DM, you want to play this now. Yeah, no, it is. It is true. The struggle is real. It sucks. It sucks prepping and planning stuff that you then don't end up getting to run in the session that you planned it for. In a lot of cases, it is why it is why I generally try at the end of each of my sessions to just kind of bug my players and say, hey, what is the plan for next session? Like, what are we gonna do? And try and get like one or two different things that they want to do so you can have those prepped in plans. You know, so it is what it is. Then this way you can play into it. But yeah, I mean, it does suck sometimes. Say, we're on the other side of the dale with a dragon and Urard is dead. Urard's not necessarily dead. Full moon can be Sokka's girlfriend from Avatar that we thought was hot, and Urard still wouldn't make it in time. Because the bottom line, the DM is a player. Yeah, the DM has to be able to enjoy the game they're playing. That is very true. That is extremely true. Well, Jared, all I can say is that choices can be made. Choices can be made. All right. Build on players' choices to create consequences. The flip side of accepting that some things won't get used is that choices that characters make can and should have impact. One of the most staggering things about playing an evil playthrough is how lonely the game feels, and this way was by design. When discussing exactly this aspect, you're playing a route which is more selfish and more, again, afraid. You end up isolated. If you run into Lady Esther on the way to the Githyanki creche, and she asks you to steal an egg for them, everything about the conversation raises red flags, makes you feel a bit dirty, but you can do it. You can steal the egg and she will pay you for it. But that is not the end of it. If you follow up in Act 3, things haven't gone great, and you may have to deal with the fallout of your dicey. Yeah. No, that's another big thing. I mean, that is true. You want players' choices to have weight in the world. You want their decisions to mean something. build on previous detail. In Act 1, you find a creepy tome, the Necromancy of Thay, in a basement lair. You can only read part of it before it slams shut. You're unable to do anything else until Act 3, when the way to unlock the rest of the tome can be found through a couple of side quests. It's a minor subplot, but it feels cool. Yeah, no, that's true. You know, Chekhov's gun. You gave her the... oh my god, I didn't. I straight up killed her. Doot. Oh, dot your environments with hidden stuff. I was like, what the fuck is doot? Dot your environments with hidden loot. Yes. One of the things that I have actually come more into recently with some of my games is trying to do like small loot drops, you know, where especially when players start getting into higher levels, like minor magic items, you know, can come to them more regularly. So using tables is a godsend. Treat character sheets as wish lists. People make their characters because they want to play them. One of the truly amazing things about Baldur's Gate is the things your character is good at will come into play through the game. There are unique dialogue options. As a DM, you have the luxury of being able to zero in on your players' characters and their sheets to build things into your game that directly complement them. That is true. That is true. You know, knowing your players and knowing their characters and understanding the wants and desires of your characters and players is important. It's important for you as a player to know what you want to do. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of the point. You know, I've had some players in my games with elaborate backstories who come, you know, one of my players has a super elaborate backstory. They gave me a bunch of details about who their family was and what they want to do. And it was very cool. And I have been slowly implementing things from that backstory into the adventure. And it's been great. I also have another player whose whole character design was they are a blue dragonborn barbarian and they just want to kill a dragon. Now, I don't think Aaron even knows. Actually, I know Aaron doesn't even know. But you know, it's fine whenever a player has a more simplistic background, or not background, but like wants and desires. But it makes it very hard as a DM to play into that. Like when a player says, I want to be big and strong and like the boogeyman, I don't know what that means. And if the player says, I also don't know what that means, then it's very hard for me as the DM to funnel that into a direction to go. But it's not impossible. Sometimes just talking it out and working through it is your best bet. You know, I sat down with my buddy Aaron. Yeah, Jared. Yep, Jared and Aaron and I sat down and talked about it with what his character wanted, and we came up with like this cool thing that his character will be able to do to let him get a little bit stronger in a way that doesn't break his character, and also keeps it within the realm of what he's been doing. I already have Zero's backstory done in case anything happens. Yeah, I just need a Necromancer Bard class. There's a Necromancer Bard It's the dirge bird. There is. That's one of my... That's one of, like, the oldest... the oldest ones that I have on here. Right there, College of Dirges. Ooh, you learn a necromancy cantrip. You gain resistance to necrotic damage, have advantage against being frightened. At 6th level, you're able to perform to raise the dead. You learn the animate dead spell, which does not count towards your spells known. You can expend a use of bardic inspiration to animate 2 corpses or piles of bones within 30 feet of you as zombies or skeletons, giving them temporary hit points equal to the number you roll on the die. They remain under your command as if raised by animate dead. You must maintain concentration on this feature, and when you lose concentration or when the hours passed, they return to being corpses or bones, and they cannot be turned more than once. And at 14th level, undead under your control are immune to being turned, and when you use Dance of the Dead, you animate 1 additional zombie or skeleton. So yeah, basically it's it lets you like, because you are concentrating on the feature, you can only do it like at any one time. So it's not like creating dozens of zombies, but being able to just pop up 2 of them with the use of bardic inspiration, which at the time that I added this, bardic inspiration wasn't used nearly as often because they didn't have the stuff from Tasha's. But this is a great one for necromancer builds. Give players some agency over their builds. What does that mean? There's an option in the game that lets you spend 100 gold to change your class, or even just now. It would get excessive to have them. When I DM, especially when I'm DMing newer players, I like to give them a chance, typically once per game, with potential exceptions, to rework your character sheet, including changing their class. Oh, you're talking about the circus one. That one is so fucking powerful. That one is so OP. So, in my opinion, about giving players the ability to respec and rework their character sheet, I am not opposed to it, but I don't think it should be done willy-nilly. I don't think it should be done very often, and I also think it needs to be done within some scope of the game. You know, and I say that because, especially if you're trying to start like a new campaign, and you have a character that comes into the party who's a rogue, who's, you know, dark and stealthy and, you know, really kind of that typical rogue archetype, and then they realize after a session that they don't want to play, you know, somebody who's ooky spooky and in the background. They want to play somebody that's upfront and more charismatic, so they want to switch to a paladin. And, you know, then the next session they realize, well, no, they didn't like the rogue because the rogue felt weak, and they were in the back, but they don't want to play a paladin now because, you know, they want more utility, so now they want to play a wizard. And it's like, I don't mind if you want to swap like once or twice, but I definitely don't think it should be once per game, reworking their character sheet. Because, you know, what are you reworking with that? Like, what is the limitations that you put on that? Or would you let players re-roll their stats? You know, are you gonna let them change their skills, you know, their proficiencies? Because that starts to step on the toes of feats, and that starts to step on the toes of racial traits. Would you let a player change their race? You know, the way that I have handled it in different games is, if a player broaches the subject that they might want to consider changing their their class or their subclass or something like that, I definitely approach it from like, well, let's look at what you want to turn into, and let's see how we can play into that in the game to make it make sense. I mean, you could say once per game, but what is once per game? Is that a campaign? Is that a session? Is that a chapter? Like, I mean, I say game night, you know, and where we're playing the game. I've contemplated switching Gerard to Druid with all of his stuff, or put some levels into Druid. What the fuck just happened to all my monitors? Okay, that was weird. So the thing is that what the hell? What the fuck is going on? I mean, the thing is that switching to a Druid wouldn't necessarily be out of the question. I mean, especially not for Gerard. And you got plenty of different subclasses to go with. And especially now that he's like, you know, kind of like undead almost. I mean, the Blighted would be pretty sick. But I mean, you could honestly do the Shepherd, okay? That would probably be the one that I would, if Gerard wanted to go the route of taking either levels into Druid, or like wanted to explore druidic options, the Circle of the Shepherd would be 100% the route to go. Like it says here, druids of the Circle of the Shepherd commune with the spirits of nature, especially the spirits of beasts and the Fae, which we already know. We've played into Calyrex being Fae. You are a Fae warlock, and call those spirits for aid. So the nice thing is this, you already know Sylvan, that's already played into it. Beasts can understand your speech. You gain the ability to cipher them, which you already do. You have the warlock invocation, but you would be able to summon the spirits of animals to boost your allies. Like, you would go from having these physical manifestations to summoning incorporeal manifestations. So yeah, and then 10th level, when a beast or fae you summoned or created with a spell ends its turn to your spirit totem aura, they regain hit points. So like, that would count for all of your stuff pretty much, like all those things that you are summoning. But granted, that would, you know, rely on you pretty much at this point So what level are you? Yeah, you're level 9. That would require you to pretty much at this point go full druid. You know, and the thing is that while the flavor is there, we would have to work around with stuff because your wisdom score is high enough, but you would be called MAD, M-A-D-D, multi-ability score, or MAD, yeah, multi-ability score dependent, because you would be dependent on both charisma and wisdom for your spell castings, because charisma would be your warlock casting, wisdom would be your druid. Granted, we could change that. We could make it still charisma. But realistically, you wouldn't get a whole lot out of it. I mean, taking a 2-level dip into it wouldn't be the worst. That's all I'm going to say. Taking a 2-level dip into it wouldn't be the worst. What's 6th level? Beasts are face summoned by a spell. The creatures appear with more hit points, 2 extra points per hit die, and the damage from its natural weapons is considered magical. Honestly, that would probably be that would probably be the best thing. Taking 6 levels to get up to that. Because honestly, this isn't, you know, really worth it. But if you went straight druid levels at this point and went into the circle stuff, not a bad option. But that we could always discuss that at another time. And what's the last one? Break tension with silly moments. Yeah. No, that's definitely true. Always try and have some levity and stuff. Slip a scroll that summons a obsessed quasit into a coffin. Yeah. So level 10 warlock, the rest druid. Hold on. Let me see what the warlock gets at 10th. Oh, yeah. Since 10 would get you your next. Yeah. You could do your next level up to get beguiling defenses. You're immune to being charmed. When another creature attempts to charm you, you can use your reaction to turn it against them. So yeah, if you want to just be able to not be charmed, that would be the next thing that you would be getting. Now here's the one thing that I will say. I can't guarantee that the Rime of the Frostbanding campaign would last to level 16. So you might be going down a route that, you know, that goes beyond the horizon, but it would work flavor wise. Ooh. Oof. Oh, my back. I think we're gonna be graced with a child soon. But beyond that, I want to talk about today. I also thought partial bard just to inspire my pals. Yeah, no, that would be well, and that would be something. I would actually play more into that with the druid. I don't know why I clicked that button. I would even say the shepherd stuff you would be better with, considering you could flavor these spirit totems in that way. You know, bear spirit. It's a 30-foot radius. The spirit creates an aura in a 30-foot radius. The spirit grants you and your allies its might and endurance. Each creature of your choice in the aura, when the spirit appears, gains 5 temporary hit points plus your level again, plus your level. In addition, you and your allies gain advantage on strength saving throws while within the aura. So for 1 minute, you're giving allies, you know, or creatures of your choice, bonus temporary hit points. The Hawk Spirit, when a creature makes an attack against a target in its aura, you can use your reaction to grant advantage on that roll. And you and your allies have advantage on perception checks. And the Unicorn Spirit, you gain advantage on checks made to detect creatures in that aura, which would have helped you guys find the white moose. In addition, if you cast a spell using a spell slot that restores hit points, creatures in the aura gain extra hit points equal to your druid level. So this would be a way to give them those buffs. And you could flavor that as in, like, it's your Rard. It's coming from your Rard, okay? Where it's not that he's conjuring forth a no, this is a second level. Druids get their circle at second level. So it would be something where, you know, your Rard could like beef up and like look like a bear, and he's empowering them, or he gets these like feathery protrusions on his body and his eyes become yellow and he's able to like keen sense into things, or he grows a horn out of the center of his head, something like that. Totally doable. Yeah, that's definitely something that we can discuss in the future. I'd be all for that. What's going on? Okay, that's weird. But yeah, so I do want to talk tonight a little bit about Calendir's collection. So, oh, one moment. What's up?
She's fed, she's diaper cleaned.
All right, you want to hand her to me and then bring over the
Sure.
bassinet? There is the baby. Here is the child. Yes, yes. Much baby, very child. She is sleeping, as she likes to do. Yes. And she's in her big old sleep sack. I'm always bringing in the bassinet.
Me?
That's fine. Yes, yes, much baby. Very child. That is such a big ass window. Oh shit, I can put this on stream. Huh? So that people could see the baby. She would sleep in peace. See? Is the baby. It looks like toy. Floppy little hands. But is real baby. Huh. Oh, little one. I know. Yes. Make noise into the microphones. Your little mouse squeaks. You want to put her in there?
Come here, peanuts.
Here. Hold on. I can do this.
What?
Do this.
Seriously?
BlueStack app player. Oh, I know it's not going that way. There we go. There we go. There's baby cam. Baby cam right there. See, this is the thing when you're a tech guy and you have shit to do on your computer, like making D&D content, what you do is you use the security cameras in your house to give yourself a feed that you can see. And the nice thing is that there's a program called BlueStacks, which lets you download, it lets you download Android apps onto your computer. So I'm able to have her right on my camera, right on my computer, anytime I need it. And if she gets fussy, I'll hear her, but then I'll just see her wiggling around. I can make sure she's okay. And I know she's right there. I can just turn around. But yep, little baby Kiva. Hold on, do something here. Wow, that's super big. See, what fun fonts do I have? What a lot of fonts. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I have a new font that I recently... I forget what it's called. It's this one. Yeah, I don't like that. Kiva's Corner now, that's right. Yeah, down there, that is... What font? I have some really good fonts as of late. Been downloading a bunch of them. We'll do something bubbly. We'll do something that's not Comic Sans. Oh, there we go. We gotta raise the size. There we go. Kiva Cam. Down there in the corner. All right. No one uses Comic Sans. No, people do use Comic Sans. It's frustrating me. All right. So back to Calendar's collection. So obviously we got through January. The week that I was planning on working on the PDF was the week that the baby was born. So that really didn't pan out too well. And last week, when we were going to be jumping into February, the Court of Love and Valor, I was still just kind of reeling with the fact of we had a baby. So we're gonna jump into it this week. And the main thing, one of the first things I wanted to talk about, and you can actually find this over on the Discord, but right there. So you can either go over to the Kelf's Corner Discord or the Patreon if you want to get your hands on the Frostfell Adventures PDF. It is all here. So we can take a look at it. Let me see here. View, not read mode. This is what I wanted. So obviously we have, we got something in the way. There we go. So we have our beautiful cover page. And then we have the Frostwalker Ranger, the very first piece that we worked on in the very beginning. A ranger focused on mobility and control. So super happy with how this one turned out. Got a lot of great insight from people online, so many thanks to them. You know what, we're gonna do it this way. Yeah, we will do it this way. Where's my other page? There we go. Yeah, so we have the Yetikin race, a race of folk descended from Yetis. They're acclimated to high elevations. They have resistance to the cold thanks to their thick fur. They are super stealthy while in snowy and icy terrains, and they have a chilling gaze that they can deal some cold damage and stun you, as when you are moving through the wilderness and you see a Yeti, you just kind of freeze as their eyes bore into you. We have the Arctic Explorer background, proficiencies in nature and survival, proficiency with navigator's tools, and one type of artisan tools. You get cold weather clothing, crampons, navigator's tools, a 2-person tent, and a pouch containing 10 gold with the background feat of durable. And the ability, the feature known as Snowbound Shelter, being able to take an hour to create a comfortable living space out in the Arctic for up to 2 people, that can last up to a 10-day without regular maintenance. So I'm super excited. I'm super happy that this one turned out well. Moving on to the spells. So this might be some new art that you're seeing. We have the spells Hibernation, Frostwalker's Veil, the Glacial Shield, and Icebind Shackles. So I put together some art for the Glacial Shield, which definitely didn't come out exactly how I wanted it, but I absolutely do. I love the look of this. So yeah, definitely sticking with this sick art here. Then we got the feats for the Walking Hibernator, as well as Elemental Touch, where Walking Hibernator is about is a feat for those who are more constituted, that are willing to sacrifice their mobility to focus on conserving energy and healing themselves. So it is a different shield. Yeah, it's not a physical shield anymore, it's a spell. But being able to get some temporary hit points, being able to use your hit dice outside of short rests, advantage on con saves, and doubling the duration of concentration spells. What's up, kid? Huh? You okay? Okay, one moment. Come here. Oh. Oh. Ugh. Eva is a snuggler. This is the main thing. She loves being held. She loves sitting with her mom and I. Ah. Don't you? Don't you? Yep. Now she's totally fine. She was down there gurgling and whining, now she's totally fine. Good night. Okay, kiddo. Come here. Oh. Yeah. Oh. You okay? Got a thunk to your head there. Hi. Got a little peepers going. Okay, kid. Here, put you right here. There you go. Yep. And you got some little spitty bubbles. Okay. So yeah, like I said, Walking Hibernator definitely built around focusing on healing, kind of slowing yourself down so that you are focusing more on healing and so that you are more constituted. Elemental Touch being the feat that kind of goes the other way compared to Elemental Adept, whereas Elemental Adept allows you to ignore resistances to damage and lets you treat ones as twos. Elemental Touch is letting you change damage types, much like the Scribe Wizard has the ability to. This one is that when you gain this feature, you choose one of the following damage types: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder, and you gain resistance to that. And when you cast a spell, you can change the damage type to one of those. This goes hand in hand with whatchamacallit, Elemental Adept. If you really want to focus on one type of damage and basically converting your spells to do that, in my opinion, I'm not gonna lie, when we first designed this, it was definitely like Ice Touch. You know, it was being able to like turn spells into, you know, ice versions of them. The more I thought about it, like the more this would let people play like lightning wizards a lot better, or, you know, acid wizards and stuff like that, because fire spells are definitely abundant and even cold spells are fairly prevalent. Where are you going, Bo? Okay. How you doing? Doing good? Okay. All right, little one. All right, moving on. We have the magic items from January, the Frostwalker boots that allow you to move through ice and snow without leaving any sign of movement, and also ignoring difficult terrain, but also being able to walk on water by freezing it under your feet. The Aurora Lantern, not only lighting your way, but also mesmerizing enemies. I should have edited that hypnotic pattern there. Oh well, do it for the future. The Cloak of Northern Flames, which we have the illustration of here. Whenever somebody hits you, kind of like a hellish rebuke, being able to give that burst of fire, but also blinding them. And the Dagger of the Glacial Path, a dagger that you're able to throw that deals extra cold damage, but can create areas of icy, difficult terrain. So, some cool magic items. And finally, we got the CR7 Ice Golem, a golem that is able to, hit you and reduce your speed, but also to be able to grapple you and begin to restrain you and suffocate you. So super happy with this one. And then we got the little final page, the little thank you from me and Calendar. So and to which point I do want to say to those of you that have come by, who hang out in the Discord, who come by the stream, and who have helped me work on this, many thanks to all of you. As I put here, the community of Kel's Corner, but also of Critical Crafting, Cinderblock Sally, the Discord of Many Things, the Unearthed Arcana subreddit, the D&D subreddit. Lots of thanks. Image is bigger than I remembered. Oh yeah, the Ice Golem. I really loved this art. So, but yeah, and then we have the little. I was trying to come up with something today, but yes, in his times away from his immense mega dungeon, Calendar the Mad Chronomancer spends his time amassing a collection of strange artifacts, lore, and knowledge from across the realm. I used collection 3 times, and I'll probably change this. Join us as we explore this collection with more entries from Calendar's collection. I hate it. I hate that I used collection 3 times. And then yeah, we have the Creative Commons, because that's the easy one. So, but yeah, like I said, I just want to say thank you to everybody who helped me work on this, and thank you to everybody who hangs out here in the streams and has given their opinions and advice on this. So, what? Okay. Noisy. Oh yeah, I'll come up with something. I might even edit this. You good? Okay. What's up? All right, you just didn't want to be laying on your back. Okay. That good? Is that better? Okay. Keep that in mind. Yeah, so that was January's. That was January's Calendar's collection. Frostfell Adventures, Embrace the Cold and Snow of Winter. Which, I mean, that brings us now to February. And call it a collection. Yeah. What is up, Glenn? How you doing, man? Yeah, it's just constantly calling it a collection. So, as you can see, I have already started working on February stuff. The K makes it look cool. I know. Believe me. I am so aware. So the thing is that, obviously I have, obviously I've, haven't been jumping at this for about 2 weeks. So, but I have been working on it. And I do have some art here to reference. So this is going to be the new cover art for February, The Court of Love and Valor, where romance meets chivalry in a dance of destiny. Obviously it's AI art, but I did some editing, and because this heart was over on this side and I really liked it, so I copied it over to there. I erased all the other numbers. I really like this. I think it looks sick, but it plays into what we are going to be looking at, which is a paladin subclass for the Oath of Chivalry, a subclass about protecting those that are weaker, about spreading love and connection, but about being that gallant knight that always forces the challenge to the enemy that draws their eyes. And lastly, what we'll be working on tonight is the race of folks that I have named the Sunitians. So they are a race of people that were not so much evolved in such a way, but were created by a goddess, specifically the goddess Sune, who is the goddess of love. These are beings that have evolved over time, but come from her divine essence. So we'll be taking a look at some of this, and I also have a little bit of the background set up for the matchmaker. So we'll be looking at that as well. So the Paladin, the Oath of Chivalry. So this is a Paladin. Wait, can I do this? I can do this. Yes, so the Oath of Chivalry Paladin. There we go. That's what I wanted. I want this to be zoomed out, and I want this to be more managed. There we go. Let me do the same with this one real quick. Yeah. So the Oath of Chivalry Paladin the Oath of Chivalry, as it says here, binds a paladin to the loftiest ideals of protection, courage, and the power of true love and deep friendship. Paladins who swear this oath dedicate themselves to the service of others, championing the cause of justice, and often becoming beacons of hope in the darkest of times. Their tenets are a courageous heart. Face your foes with unwavering courage and stand firm in the defense of the innocent. Gallant protector, offer your strength to shield those who cannot defend themselves. Noble sacrifice, prioritize the welfare of others above your own, even if it requires personal sacrifice. And a champion of love, use the power of love and friendship to drive your actions, inspire those around you. When you think of this oath, while it obviously, it has a lot of associations with other paladins. A lot of paladins are chivalrous in nature. That is by design. And the one that this, at least in my mind, most resembled was the tenets of devotion, courage, compassion, honor, and stuff like that. But where I have always felt of Oath of Devotion as more of the holier warrior, who has a more like a holy knight. I want this knight to be the one that people flock to because they have an allure about them. There is something of an extreme charisma just innate to them. This would be your Prince Charming kind of character. Also, I absolutely love this art. This sword is so cool, and I love how it looks like vines and a rose. Because obviously there's a bunch of rose, you know, symbolism around, but also how it incorporates the heart into it and into the chest. I absolutely love this art. Love this, you know, so good. So for the subclass, and again, as a reminder, none of this is full. None of this is complete. This is all work in progress. And I will be sharing this out to different communities to get their opinions, but for right now, this is where I'm working with. But channel or oath spells, we have Charm Person and Sanctuary. You know, the ability to charm somebody, to stop fights, to get them to focus on you, is a big part of what this subclass is about. Enthrall, again, that same drawing enchantment from them. Warding Bond, protecting your allies. Beacon of Hope and Life Transference, again, stopping your allies from taking damage and you being that burden, that one that takes it from them. Charm Monster, why finish a fight when you don't have to start one at all? Guardian of Faith, protecting those around you. And finally, Dominate Person and Greater Restoration, being able to truly, you know, impose that sense of, you know, you don't have to finish the fight if you never have to start it in the first place, kind of a thing. All right, moving on to the Channel Divinity. As a bonus action, so this is the champions. That should be champions. There we go. Oh, that was weird. There we go. Champions challenge. Why is the font so small? Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, that's why. That's right. I remember that now. And I don't even know. Yeah. Hold on. I wonder. Is that those threes? If we change that to 18, if we change that to 18, I can probably bump that up to 14. I can probably bump that up to, nope, really can't bump that up to 14. Wow. Okay. Oh, that's what we're going to go with. There we go. That's a little better. All right. All the pink. How do I vote for other colors? You don't. This month is all pink. Very specifically, it is FF5EA3 on the for the hex. That is the specific pink that we use for this one. And if you didn't know, the specific hex for January was 69 AED8. So, because if you didn't know, if you hold, if you have the Power Toys program on your computer, which you should have Power Toys if you don't, you can hit Windows Shift and C, and it creates a thing that lets you color pick. And I use that to get all my hex codes. What are you doing down there? You snoozing? You think you can go back in your bassinet, little baby? Maybe. Maybe, baby. All right, yeah, definitely. If you don't have this, yeah, and it's from Microsoft too. It's not even like a third party thing. Go and download Power Toys. Seriously, this program is 100% the best thing ever. Why are these offset? That is very weird. Weird. Yeah. If you didn't know about it, go and check out Power Toys. You can make Windows always on top. You can actually keep your computer awake without having to like manage all your power settings. The color picker is what I'm referring to. Seriously, it's so good just to be able to like zoom in and out on an image and pick out the colors. The other thing that I use that I would not know how to function without is fancy zones. This is how I'm able to actually manage all my windows across all my screens, is that when you hold like the shift button, you can have preset locations where stuff goes instead of worrying about it snapping to one side or the other. It's absolutely great. And then you can even make things bigger by like having it in the middle. I use this all the time. And it also has a keyboard manager, which lets you customize your keyboards without having to have individual software. And the last thing that is absolutely amazing is mouse utilities, which lets you hit control twice and it highlights your mouse. Which for my need is great because I have 4 monitors. I don't always know where the mouse is. So Windows Shift M. I didn't know that. Oh, look at that. That's sick. I didn't know that. Interesting. Yes, I also didn't know about this one. Text extractor. Can highlight sections and it'll pull the text for you. You're okay, good. But yeah, check out Power Toys. All right, so back to the Paladin. The channel divinity for this, the Champions Challenge, is going to sound very familiar. If you have ever played like a bard or something. But as a bonus action, you issue a challenge that compels other creatures to do battle with you. Each creature of your choice that can see you within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, a creature can't willingly move more than 30 feet away from you and has disadvantage on attacks against other creatures or against creatures other than you. This effect ends if you're incapacitated or die or they're more than 30 feet away from you. So this is a channel divinity that essentially gives you a big AoE compelled duel. Okay. This feature is very much the compelled duel idea is very much what I had the idea for this paladin to be. I wanted this paladin to walk into the battlefield and to be the one that like slams their sword against their shield and it draws the attention of all the enemies. and those creatures around it are just compelled to go after you, so that this way, if there are those that are weaker than you, if there are innocent around you, you are drawing the threats away from them, and you are taking on that challenge. You are being that gallant knight coming to save them and sacrificing your well-being. The second channel divinity option, Knightly Charge. You can use your channel divinity to make a valiant charge against an opponent. As a bonus action, you can move up to 30 feet and make a single melee weapon attack with advantage. On a hit, you deal additional damage equal to 2d6 for every 10 feet you moved before the attack and the target is knocked prone. So getting you up into battle, getting you that big solid hit to take somebody down. Again, this whole paladin is built to be somebody that is getting into combat, that is going to, you know, draw everyone to them. Ooh. And I want to say, yeah, here it is. Okay, this is what that's what I was trying to remember. So yeah, at 3rd level, you can use your channel divinity once, 7th level twice, 15th level thrice. So, you know, once you reach like 7th level, you could charge into battle, you know, as your, you know, and then get some attacks in, and on your next turn, use Champion's Challenge and draw everyone's attention to you. I absolutely love this. So this, the compelled duel was essentially the design of this. Up next, we have the 7th level feature, Aura of Allure. Now, every paladin has an aura that kicks in at 7th level, for the most part. But it's something that will aid their allies as well. So the Aura of Devotion was very much an idea that I was sitting with, and I think it was Vengeance. Vengeance was the other one. So I wanted to have an aura that's, oh yeah, Conquest. So I initially, my first design for this one, kind of going off that challenge of a gallant knight kind of a thing, I actually wanted to have something that was almost exactly the same as Aura of Conquest, which was that if a creature is charmed by you, their speed is 0, and it's this idea that they're just like taken by you and they can't move. I felt it was way too similar to this. And then Devotion was the one that was also similar to an idea that I had, which is that you and creatures within 10 feet of you just can't be charmed. So what I decided to go with was to reduce the benefit that Devotion gets, but to add a benefit in the other direction. So at 7th level with Aura of Allure, you and friendly creatures within 10 feet gain advantage on saves against being charmed, while chosen creatures within the same range suffer disadvantage on saves against being charmed. So the idea here is that you are such a beacon of hope and draw to people, this like overwhelming sense of awe that other people can't be around you. It's harder for them to be charmed because they are so innately charmed by you. And monsters and chosen creatures, they have disadvantage against being charmed. This should actually be charmed by you. I did not put that. So for disadvantage on saving throws against. Yeah, that should have been by you. So again, just this idea of the creatures around you are just enamored with you, that it is harder for them to resist spells like Charm Person and Enthrall and Charm Monster and Friends and Compelled Duel and stuff like that. So, and I have actually considered making it enchantment spells, because I haven't fully decided on that. Just making it like the whole party is charmed. So, okay, so here's the thing. It's not that the whole party is charmed. It is that like, so, okay, so for example, the aura of devotion, just being around that paladin means that they can't be charmed while they're conscious. That paladin is exuding such an aura of devotion to their holy crusade that your attention can't be drawn to anything else. You can't be charmed. You can't be drawn away. So it extends to the allies around you. So with the aura of allure, the flavor of it, like the benefit is just you and allies within 10 feet have advantage against being charmed. That's pretty much it. So if there's anything that is charming you, then that's the thing. In my mind, it is the fact that like you exude such an aura of like not grace so much, but just like awe. You know, awe is what I keep thinking of. It's like people are drawn to notice you. And so that could be beauty. Like you could play this up as like a Prince Charming, you know, throwing back your hair, laughing in the face of danger. And you know, it's kind of that classic trope. But you could also have somebody who is very, you know, mellow, but they have that like mysterious zeal about them. That's the idea. You know, it's, you're not technically charmed by the group's paladin. It is just more the flavor of it. I might actually change this. Against being charmed. Chose creatures of your choice within this aura suffer disadvantage on saving throws against enchantment spells that you cast. That would actually be something. Oh fuck, that'd be hilarious. I might actually change that. Hold on. You and your allies saving throws against being charmed. Period. Creatures of your choice in the same range within the aura. Against Creatures of your choice within the aura suffer disadvantage on saving throws against enchantment spells. See, my mind is going, okay, we have this. I think it would be a little too overpowered to give it to the Champions Challenge. So, yeah. It does seem that it would allow for them to have disadvantage on being charged. Yeah. Well, and that's it. It definitely is supposed to be like, this is, you know, it is the stuff that the Paladin's doing. Yeah, I think we'll do that, because these are... So, let's pin these. And then... we have Charm Person, Charm Monster. We have Enthrall. We have Guardian of Faith. We have Beacon of Hope. Dominate Person and Greater Restoration. Life Transference. Sanctuary and Warding Bond. So right here, these are the spells that the Paladin, these are the spells this Paladin can learn, and let's get rid of anything that isn't enchantment now. So, right here, this is the list of spells that this Paladin could cast, that this would allow them to impose disadvantage on. Now, Bless, obviously you don't want, that's not something that, you know, it's a save. But Charm Person is, same with Command, same with Compelled Duel. Enthrall is also a Wisdom save, same with Zone of Truth. That's a Charisma save. Charm Monster, Dominate Person, and Gesh are all Wisdom saves. So basically, right here, these are the spells that this Paladin is able to impose disadvantage on. And these are strong. Like, the whole idea of this Paladin being able to go up and, like, just be this being of you know, allure for somebody, and to have them use these for utility. Because the thing about Paladins is that in a lot of cases, there isn't a whole lot of spells that they cast for combat reasons. In a lot of cases, the spells that a Paladin casts are utility, or to buff, or to debuff. So I very much wanted this to be something where it was going to be more about them being able to, like, charm a monster for example, or like use it outside of combat to charm somebody, but to command somebody to like drop their weapon or to draw everyone near them. And what this is playing into is what the 15th level ability is, their want and desire to protect. So 15th level, you form a magical bond with a creature as an action for 1 hour. So this is kind of like the spell Warding Bond or Sanctuary. Or no, not Warding Bond. What the fuck? Sanctuary, no. Yeah, so it's very similar to Warding Bond because you create that like that benefit between you, whereas this one provides that AC bonus, a +1 to AC and saves and resistance to all damage. What this one is that you create a bond that gives you both advantage on charisma checks. So it's about you passing along your galliancy. You know, it's you bestowing that upon them, while at the same time imbuing into them that heroic nature, because they get the effects of the heroism spell, which allows them to be immune to the frightened condition, and they gain temporary hit points. So this is just something where they can be, you know, because one of the things about paladins is that after a point at 10th level, creatures within 10 feet of you can't be frightened. Okay, so heroism means that they could be outside of that 10-foot range, still not be frightened because they have that bond with you. But it's also giving them temporary hit points, because at that point right there, they are going to get temporary hit points. They could get like 5 temporary hit points, and it's not requiring concentration. So just something that can be beefed up. And I honestly might change it to be something more similar to Warding Bond, but again, I gotta see what a bunch of other people think. Because once I started really thinking about it with Warding Bond, it might be better. Hi, Bo. And lastly, we have the Paragon of Chivalry. So this is the 20th level feat, the capstone ability. At 20th level, you can use your action to embody the pinnacle of chivalrous ideals for 1 minute. You emit an aura that grants resistance to all damage for you and allies within 30 feet. Creatures that make death saving throws within 30 feet of you treat any roll of 10 or higher as a critical success. And you can use your Champion's Challenge feature at will, and creatures under its effect also suffer the effects of the Bane spell without requiring concentration. I need to fix that. Champions. So, if you didn't know about paladins and this sounds really overpowered, the truth is 20th level paladin features are fucking ridiculous. Let's look. Conquest, resistance to all damage. You can make an additional attack as part of the attack. Your weapons crit on 19s and 20s. Advantage on all charisma checks, for a minute. You can make your weapons that miss just hit. So, what do they put their shield over a puddle? So maidens, yeah. So that's one of the things. Like, that's the ideal. That's one of those big things that this would play into, is those acts of chivalry and gentlemanliness. So, but yeah, that was so this is the general design right now of the Oath of Chivalry Paladin. So I'm going to be spreading this around. This will be posted. Excuse me. this will be posted over in the whatchamacallit, the Discord. So if you want to go over and look at it, if you want to share it with anyone you know, definitely check it out. It will be over there. I'm gonna save it as an image just because it's honestly easier. God, I wish I could do that straight from my whatchamacallits, my PDF viewer. I know there's a way to do it, but I think I have to pay for it. Yeah, I think I have to pay for it. So, but I will be posting that over there, so you can check that out, see the image for it, and share it out if you are interested in it. Also, and I don't often talk about this, but if you do like these, if you are out there watching this and you find these at some point, and you are, you end up using it in your game, please let me know. I'd be really curious to know how it works out for you. So, please, if that's the case, let me know. Be really happy to find that out. Because I don't get a whole lot of opportunity to play test these things. So a lot of times what I will do with my stuff is I will make an encounter that I think is appropriate, and I will actually do just sit here and kind of play D&D by myself and just play this character and the monsters, just to see, is this paladin stronger or weaker against other paladins? So one of the ways that I kind of play test these things is I will make a party of paladins and just make them all like level 7 or something like that. And I'll put them up against a bunch of monsters that never end. And I'll kind of keep track of how much damage somebody's doing and, is it stronger or less than, one of the other subclasses. So, oops, all paladins. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, my neck. Tell you what, one of the things they don't really tell you, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? Why is the Yetikin? What? What's up, Pokey Niner? That was really weird. What we are creating tonight is we are working on is this the right one? Yeah, okay, that was so weird. So what we're working on tonight is we're working on the where is it at? There it is. The February calendars collection. We're working on February's calendar collection, the Court of Love and Valor. So where romance meets chivalry in a dance of destiny. And the idea for this month is about the sub races, the subclass and the races, feats and backgrounds is all going to be things focused around like love and knights and valor and stuff like that. Things that are kind of built up around like Valentine's Day, and that's really like the big thing. So because January's is all done, Frostfell adventures are set. Oh, my little Kiva's camera is gone. Oh, that's too big. What the fuck? This program has pretty bad stability issues. No, stop that. Oh, there we go. Now I got the baby cam down there so I can keep an eye on her, even though she's right behind me. Things that are pink. When do they start passing out those little love notes? Ones with little puns and too many hearts. So funny enough, I actually had an idea about that. As a magic item is love letters. It's basically you write somebody's name on there and you give it to them, and when they open it, there's a chance that they're charmed by you. Basically in a way it's kind of like the liquid love spells, or like the love potions are supposed to function, but it's like Valentine's Day notes. She looks so cute. Yeah, she's cute when she's sleeping. That's about it. She's doing that pretty well right now. Oh. Funny thing is, she sleeps exactly, she sleeps almost exactly like I do, where she wants to sleep on her side, with like one arm like draped onto her face. It's constantly how we find her is, we'll find her like more to the side with one arm like pulled over her head. And that's the state that my wife finds me in all the time when I'm sleeping. But yeah, so Court of Love and Valor, that is this month's theme for February, and we just took a look at the Oath of Chivalry Paladin, a paladin that embodies the ideals of chivalry and gallantry. Someone who's able to force creatures on the battlefield to focus on them and to draw their attention. Oh wait, what? How else do you block out? Yeah. No, it's honest. Yeah, it's honestly just like, it's honestly just like the thing. Like I said, I'll kind of wake up like that all the time. You know, being a paladin of virtue, or not of virtue, but of, you know, of like awe, you know, of allure, of draw. So, but we are moving on to the race now. Obviously, these are going to be up for the entire month. If you go over to the Kelps Corner Discord, there is a channel that is open right now that has 4 different threads in it. There is, the channel's called Court of Love and Valor. And in the subclass one, you can now see the Oath of Chivalry. And I'll be posting the race after we discuss it. And that is there for you guys if you want to take a look at them in your off time, if you want to run them in your own game, or if you want to share them out, that's where you can do that. I did not do it through all of January, but I might post these individually on my Patreon, but I don't think I'm going to until I do the big one. But yeah, so for right now, this is where you can see them. But the race that we are going to be looking at is known as the Sunitians. So this on the left here is the art that we that I was able to come up with, that something that I felt like kind of captured the idea. While they do look like elves, they very much to me look like elves. It kind of embodies to me this feeling of they're all facing towards one another. They're all kind of coming together. And that is actually the whole idea of Sunitians, is they are empaths, like through and through. This is supposed to be wisdom. I don't know why that's dexterity. Okay, that was weird. Oh shit. Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna fuck this up. Nope. We gotta close that and reopen it. There we go. All right, so read this out here. In the glow of twilight, where shadows dance with light, the Sunitian grace us with their presence. They say a single glance from a Sunitian can ignite the coldest heart, and their laughter is the melody of joy reborn. They are love's artisans, the weaver of bonds that transcend times. I can't even guess the prompts you used to generate that image. So the thing is that whenever I actually, the prompt that I used, so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll have an idea in mind. Like I take the physical description that I have, and then, I will kind of let it just play with that as I add little bits and pieces to it. But what we have here is a group of, you understand why they look elf-like. A group of ethereal and slender beings, comparable in height to humans and elves, gathering in a scene and picturesque setting, showcasing their loving and empathic nature. Their skin emits a soft glow, changing colors to reflect their emotions, ranging from warm golds and soft blues and gentle pinks. Their hair, silky and flowing, cascades in shades of gold, silver, and vibrant reds, symbolizing the depth of love they embody. Small, delicate wings reminiscent of a gentle luminescence extend from their back, and aura-like glows surround them, highlighting their divine connection to the goddess Sune. There you go. That was the prompt. Like I said, I oftentimes start with something like this and then build into it more just the descriptions. Because honestly, ChatGPT is really good with that. If you give them, like, like being a prompt engineer is kind of bullshit when you can just talk to the machine and it'll, for the most part, figure shit out. But yeah, so so bathed in the soft radiance of the setting sun, Sunishans embody the essence of love and empathy. Their features are finely wrought, echoing the beauty of Sune, with eyes that shimmer like jewels in a myriad shade of passion and kindness. They move with an ethereal grace, leaving a trail of gentle warmth and whispered promises of unconditional acceptance. To encounter a Sunishan is to feel the stirrings of love's true power within the soul. So these are beings literally created. So the history here, Sunishans trace their lineage to the celestial realms, born from Sune's desire to sow love and understanding in the mortal world. They walked among the earliest, I didn't put amongst, what the fuck? They walked amongst... they walked amongst the earliest civilizations, teaching the languages of love and compassion. As emissaries of Sune, they seek to heal emotional wounds and nurture bonds amongst all beings. Their history is a tapestry of tales where love overcomes adversity, preserved in songs and stories they cherish. So the whole idea here, if you did not know, and when I started doing this one, so the initial idea for the race that I was going to build was going to be more like Cupid and like little cherubs, which I actually did kind of put together some of that. And yeah, actually you can see right there is a draw from that. So cherub-like wings. I've actually changed that since then. Looks like I never took that one out because what these initially started as was more like cherub-like creatures, halfling sized, tiny little like naked baby floating, you know, humanoids that would have had a proficiency with a short bow and would have been able to do something called like a heart arrow, where they were able to shoot a creature with that arrow. They were able to shoot two creatures and it would cause them to be enthralled with one another. And you could have it be a good enthrallment where they were attracted to one another and they, like, you know, draw towards each other, or they turn their hatred towards one another. I eventually changed, you know, I eventually started, once I got this image to me sold the idea of Sunishans more. So I wanted to eventually change their name. And honestly, looking up, you know, the gods really helped me. You know, the Lady of Love, she is literally the goddess of love. So Sunishan, totally worked with this. I need to change this. Shit. Where'd I have that? Yeah, no, we're just gonna change this. You have delicate, luminescent. Son of a bitch. There we go. Okay. So their section on society. Now, I obviously if it's not abundantly clear, I obviously took this and structured it almost exactly like I did with the Yetikin. In fact, I pulled, you know, most of the design for the page and just like changed the colors and stuff. It's actually why the Yetikin showed up on the page originally. So if it looks familiar, that's why. I figured if it wasn't broke, don't fix it. But yes, so with the Sunitians, their society is a reflection of their devotion to love, structured around, what the fuck's going on this monitor over here? Jesus. There you go. Structured around communities where each individual's emotional well-being is of paramount importance. They live in harmonious settlements, often found in places of natural beauty that inspire the heart and soul. Their governance is based on empathy and understanding, with leaders chosen for their ability to love and connect deeply with others. Celebrating love in all of its forms, Sunitians honor the bonds that form between friends, lovers, and communities. They hold a deep belief in the power of love to transform and uplift, dedicating themselves to acts of kindness and the pursuit of emotional wisdom. The truth is that the Sunitians aren't like a pacifistic society specifically, but they do believe more in the ideals of connections and understanding and empathy before resorting to violence, or, you know, without ever resorting to violence. This is the one thing that this race could build in, if you are planning on making a character who is a pacifist, or a character that, while they have these understandings, they may also feel that, you know, that understanding that there is a place sometimes to rid the world of those that seek to harm the beauty and love and those that you are connected with. It kind of adds that duality with the characters. So names amongst the Sunitians are melodious, often chosen to reflect the qualities of love and beauty they embody. For example, Alar, Beloved, Corin, Dale, Loria, or Seraphim. And I pulled a lot of these from like biblical angelic names. So, the fuck. Oh, I think that was a carryover for when I was typing in other names. There we go. All right, so traits for a Sunitian. Your wisdom score increases by 1, your charisma score increases by 2. Obviously, they are a charisma-based race. That's their whole thing, but wisdom is a very important part about their culture, because insight is based on wisdom. Perception, the ability to read creatures, is vastly important to this race. So that is why, for some reason, I had dexterity there. It is wisdom. Sunitians mature at the same rate as humans, but live much longer, often reaching up to 1,000 years. So this is a tie to how my idea of them being elf-like, but is also born from the fact that they are created by a goddess's want and desire. So they last for many, many generations. That this way, they have so much time to make connections with people. And this is a big thing for the Sunitians, is because they have so much time, they are able to they are able to create more bonds than other races. I know Stacy out there in the chat, that's a big thing for your character in the P5 campaign, being an elf. This is very much kind of the idea of their age being so long, gives them so many opportunities where a Sunnishan might, like a human to a pet, like a human to a dog or a human to a cat, a Sunnishan might come across a group of heroes or adventurers that they form a strong bond and connection with, and that they travel with them, experiencing what they experience and taking that on, only for them to outlive those other adventurers. But it is not something that they lament or that they are upset about when their friends will eventually come to an end. It is that they relish in the beauty of the connection that they are able to make, and they love that there are so many connections out there to make, and that there will always be more connections to make. So as for the size, they are about human size. They're medium, base walking speed of 50. They have a dark vision out to 60 feet. So they have a flight speed. They have delicate luminescent wings centered on their upper back. You can kind of see that here in a couple of these, like right here, these luminescent wings that are, not all of them have them. I kind of wish they did, but hey, you can't, you can only make so many iterations on ChatGPT before you just say, hey, this is good. And granted, you can make as many as you want, but I really liked this picture. Also, these little like creatures, I fell in love with these. They're called flits. They're a thing now. Like, that's one of the things that I'm gonna create. Tiny sprite-like creatures that feed on emotional energy and are drawn to powerful forces of love. Yep, those are flits, and I love them. They look so cute. So their main 3 racial traits: empathetic insight. You can read the emotions of others with ease. You have advantage on insight checks to determine the emotional state of a creature. So again, again, playing into that bonus to wisdom and insight, you have advantage on insight checks. So this way you are able to really dig in and you're able to understand the emotions of somebody. Sune's Grace. Not gonna lie, this is actually a feature that was built from another subclass that I made, but I really thought it was appropriate here. So Sune's Grace, you know the friend's cantrip. When you cast an enchantment spell that would cause a creature to become hostile towards you once the spell ends, the target must make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the creature does not become hostile towards you, recognizing the genuine affection or goodwill behind your actions. So, I had another subclass that was like this. And I think it was a bard or something like that. I adore the flits. The flits just showed up. The flits just show. I'll show you. I'll show you the 3 images that I got. Okay. Son of a bitch. Hold on. Oh wait, I can do it this way. Don't need to do it that way. Go to my secret channel. Wow. All right. So This was actually the very first image. Whenever I first started describing them and I wanted just like a singular one, and I was like, that totally works. Like that can 100% be like the image of a Sunitian. Okay, they have the luminescent wings on the back. They have this kind of ethereal look to them. Their skin glows softly. Their eyes are almost like jewels. They have an aura about them. She practically has a halo. And so I wanted one that was more of a group. And so that eventually led to this image, where I felt this was too religious. Okay. This to me felt like a cross between Avatar and Jesus, because this looks like a Na'vi who is a messiah to these people. And I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this, because this literally is like a halo. And like, that's the idea of halos, is like this glow from them. So that was the idea, because I wanted it to be like, you know, I wanted it to be like them interacting with people. But then I was like, okay, what if I do one where they're interacting with each other? And that's whenever it came up with this. So I honestly think that these butterflies that were in here were the influence, because you can see like they're kind of in about the same space and they resemble each other. I think they just ended up as like a part of that. But yeah, this is definitely like a Sunitian character. I just, you know, didn't have the space to put it on here, but I will, for the sake of it. Here, let me let me do this real quick. All right, so for what it is worth, okay, god damn it. All right, so for what it's worth, I will post the Sunitian race, the one that I'm using for the PDF and the close-up over in the Discord. So if you want to reference those images, oh wait, why did I close those? So if you want to reference those images, you are more than welcome. But yeah, this was the first one. This was like when I was generating the images, I was like, that's a Sunitian. That to me is a Sunitian. Very, very soft kind of features, almost like they're celestial, they're ethereal almost, but just like an allure to them, just, you know, this emotional draw that you could feel a tenderness from them. So, and this was just kind of like the birth of that, which their ears are very different in this. Their ears in this are very elf-like, and here they're more human. That's kind of where, like, when I started putting, like, you know, they are like human and elf-like, that's where stuff like that started to play into a factor. But yeah, that'll be over in the Discord, so if you want to see that, you can go over to the thread for the race and background. But yeah, so Sune's Grace, this definitely played a big factor in the design of this. One of the things that I personally hate about a lot of enchantment spells, like Charm Person, for example, when the spell ends, the creature knows that it was charmed by you. Okay, That's not great because you basically just caused them to not trust you. You know, they know that you cast a spell on them. The friends cantrip, for example, specifically says, when the spell ends, the creature realizes you use magic to influence its mood and you become hostile towards it. So I never really liked that. And there's a feat that I put together at one point, that was called like True Enchantment or something like that. They should, okay, so, but here's the thing, okay? If I cast, okay, Charm Person is a verbal and a somatic spell, okay? Now the thing is that requires you to do something with your voice and something with your hand. Now, if I am playing a sorcerer who has access to Charm Person, and who also has access to friends, and I want to use Subtle Spell. When you cast a spell, you can spend a sorcery point to cast it without any somatic or verbal components. They should not know. They should not know that I cast that spell on them. They shouldn't. Okay. Now, granted, material for friends is a small amount of makeup applied to the face as this is cast. Sure. You pull out a thing of blush, you powder your face a bit, or you put on lipstick, okay? And you approach them. That should be something that they don't know you cast a spell on them. And the problem that I have with this spell is the fact that, like it says, when it ends, they know that you're charmed by it. That could play into, you know, an encounter going very badly. Okay, especially if it's somebody that you might encounter later. Friends also only last for up to a minute, and a creature prone to violence might attack you. While I understand that there's a benefit, like there are situations where friends can work, it is just, and I know that it's not like brain control. I know that it's not like mind control, that you're taking them over. It is just that you have advantage on charisma checks against them. But the thing is like I want the design of this to be something where when you cast a spell on a creature that can cause them to become hostile towards you, you are a character that exudes so much tenderness and so much love that it should be, oh, this wasn't done out of malice or spite or hate. This was done because they wanted, you know, because they do genuinely like me. They do genuinely love me, you know, and are my friend. What's up, kid? Am I talking too much? Huh? She's being all wiggly down there. You going back to sleep? Stupefy. Avada Kedavra. Yep, got her. They don't necessarily need to become hostile. Well, and that's the thing. That's the thing. This whole thing is that they don't become hostile. You know, it is that they make it, you know, they make that wisdom save. And if they fail, yeah, then they don't become hostile. So, And up next, we have heartfelt connection. You can establish a profound emotional connection with others. As an action, you can touch a willing creature and establish a bond for 24 hours. While bonded, you can communicate your emotions to each other over any distance as long as you're on the same plane of existence. And this can only be formed with one creature at a time. The idea of this one is so that it's a way to communicate with one another. Okay, if you and your party have to be separated for one reason or another, and you can't talk, maybe you don't have message, maybe you don't have sending, you have no other way of communicating, this is an innate way where you could like go up and you can form that bond with somebody else in your party, and then you go your separate ways, and you can feel them you can feel their emotions, and if they're scared, if they're happy, if they're proud, okay, if they're angry, because there's so many emotions out there. But it is a simple way that's very thematic to the Sunishans about being so empathetic, so empathic towards one another, that they're able to create this bond that lets them communicate their emotions to one another, and have it be something where it's like as you're going about, you can use that to determine like when things need to happen. Again, it's not as reliant as something like sending or message or stuff like that, but it is something that can play a benefit, especially if you are maybe like doing this in a like more in a social RP setting, okay, where what's up where if you go up to an NPC that you are trying to work with, being able to communicate your emotion or being able to understand their emotions, this can allow you to do that on such a deep level that goes beyond insight checks. You can just understand their emotions. But again, they have to be willing. That's a big thing. They have to be willing. They have to be open to you. And lastly, languages. You can speak, read, and write Common and Celestial. So obviously Celestial was the clear choice there. But yeah, so that is the Sunishan. That's the main idea. That's the general gist of what I came up with. So much like the Paladin, I just posted an image of this subclass or of this race over in the Discord. So if you want to follow it, you can do that over there. And as we go along each week, I'm going to be sending these out to different Discords to get people's opinions on them. And we'll be updating them as we go along, based off of people's feedback. And if you have feedback, feel free to, put that here, put it over in the Discord. Let me know. Let me know if you think something's, underpowered, overpowered, needs change, doesn't fit thematically. Let me know. I'm always open for interpretation and suggestion. So the last thing that I want to discuss tonight, regarding this stuff is the there it is, the background that I came up with for this month, because that's this week. The second week of the month is the race and background. You can see right here my initial thought of the Heartbound. I guess I should change that. Sunishan. One second. You okay? Hi. I know. What's up? You blowing bubbles? You blowing bubbles? Bubbles. Here, you want your bink? Do you have a yawn? What's up? Huh? Hi, kiddo. What's up? Take your binky. I know it's not a baba. You're not gonna get any milk from it. I know. Now you're pissed. She has those same what the fuck lines. Right there, that furrowed brow that my wife often gets. Very annoyed. To have the gall that I'd give her a binky that provides her no milk, even though you ate 2 hours ago, and you ate more than you've ever eaten in one sitting 2 hours ago. You're falling asleep already, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Haven't decided a class for the little one yet. 2 weeks in, too early. No, but we have figured out the race. She is a goblin. Huh. She's a little goblin. That's for sure. Here, you go right there. Yeah, you can put your arms down. What? Put your arms down. Okay. Yeah, she's a little goblin, that's for sure. In fact, I used ChatGPT to make an image. Kiva the Gerblin. Little goblin baby. So, I mean, if anything, I don't know. All she does is she eats, she poops, and she cries. So, I guess a barbarian. Maybe. Maybe. All right. But yeah, so the design of this background that we're going to go with is the matchmaker. Now, I initially had the idea of a matchmaker, background, kind of playing into this from the very beginning. Matchmaker background was like almost instant for me. But this plays so heavily into what the Sunitians are. I think a Sunitian matchmaker, like even looking at the class of a glamour bard, glamour bards are all about beauty and charming people, and command and stuff like that, of having this mantle of majesty, this allure. And granted, Oath of Chivalry Paladin would also play into this. Wait, which one's Tragedy? Oh, that's Taldore. Okay, I was like, what the fuck is Tragedy? But I honestly think a glamour bar, a Sunitian glamour bard matchmaker would be such an interesting character to play, because you would be all about connecting with people and almost controlling their emotions. You have such an understanding of people's emotions, you're able to practically just control them. Or a enchantment wizard would also be huge with this, considering you have stuff like hypnotic gaze, where you can charm people, instinctive charms, stuff like that would be Yeah, you can use your reaction to divert an attack. You know, like I think there's a bunch of options. But yeah, so the matchmaker background is you're gonna have the skill proficiencies of insight and persuasion. Your tool proficiencies are going to be a disguise kit and one type of artisan tool. The disguise kit for me is because of like makeup. Since disguise kits are makeup, it kind of makes sense that you could change yourself to look like others or help others look different to try and make them appeal to someone else. As for the equipment, a small collection of love letters a disguise kit to start with, a small collection of love letters and contracts you've helped craft, a quill and ink set, a book on the psychology of relationships, a set of fine clothes, and a purse containing 15 gold. So the idea of this of this background, like it says down here, you've always had an intuitive grasp of the heart's desires, understanding the intricate dance of emotions and connections that draw people together. Your life has been dedicated to the art of matchmaking, not just in love, but in all manners of relationships. With a keen eye for detail and a deep understanding of human nature, you have honed your skills in reading the subtle clues. Oh, Jesus Christ. I meant to put clues. The subtle clues that betray one's true feelings and intentions. Your talents have brought together business partners, friends, and lovers, weaving the threads of fate to create bonds that might never have been formed otherwise. So this is not just a subclass, or this is not just a background for like romantic relationships. This is for like bringing a matchmaker might be brought in as book of psychology. Do they have? Oh, they have psychology. I'm sure they do. But for example, a matchmaker might be hired in trying to seed the ideas of union between two kingdoms. Okay, if they have two kings coming together and trying to form an alliance, your character, your bard, might be somebody who's brought in as a matchmaker to better understand the two kings and use each one of their true desires to better that standing. Now the feature for this Jesus Christ, I keep saying subclass. The feature for this background is Heart's Whisper. You possess an uncanny ability to discern the desire of the heart, often understanding a person's needs and wants better than they do themselves. This gives you a unique leverage in social situations, allowing you to influence and guide conversations and negotiations with ease. After spending 1 hour connecting and conversing with a creature, you gain advantage on any insight or persuasion check you make to understand their emotional state or convince them to act on their feelings or best interests. Hi, kid. Got a little kangaroo pouch going on. I just folded my shirt up. I got my belly out under here, but she's not falling, so I'm good. She's not falling. Keep thinking about a character Ginny D shares who's a matchmaker. Yeah, I don't know. I don't follow Ginny D that much. So yeah, that's the design of this. I'm gonna be making like an actual GM binder page for this. I gotta make some art as well. So yeah, this is called I call this kangarooing. Whenever I'm sitting here at night and I don't want her to fall, but I like need access of my hands and mouse or my keyboard. And I'll kind of sit here, I'll have my shirt pulled up, and she's like, her butt's resting right on my desk, but it means that she doesn't like fall one way or the other. So, yep, works for me. But yeah, honestly, I think that's probably gonna do it for me tonight. I'm gonna snap a pic of this for right now, just so I can share it over in the Discord. I also haven't figured out a background feed for it. You know what? Before we go, I want to do that. What would be a good feat? Good feat for a matchmaker. Oh, you know what? No, it's the other one. It's not Keen Mind. Linguist would actually be really good. I didn't give it language proficiencies because I wanted to give it an artisan tool, so that, like, they would have like jewelers or something like that. Fuck, what's the other one? Observant. I think observant would be phenomenally effective. Let me see. What else we got? Alert? No. No. Cohort? No. Sigil in the Outlands? No, let's get rid of that. See, the thing about Keen Mind is the intelligence one. Keen Mind is, you know, while this is a really good ability, the rest of this is all more about like intelligence and smarts. Whereas a matchmaker, while it requires intelligence, it requires wisdom, requires people knowledge. Linguist is a good one because it would allow you to speak with other creatures. Yeah, observant is definitely the big one. That +5 to passive perception is unbeatable. Yeah, no, it's observant. It is 100% observant. Yep, 100% observant. Mash Keen Mind and observant and make a new. I don't think you could. That would be way too overpowered. I mean, for one, they both can increase intelligence, but this is technically the better one. Like, so here's the truth. Here's the truth in my opinion. Okay. I think Keen Mind is, and this is it. I think Keen Mind is a terrible name for this. Okay. That is what I personally think. I think Keen Mind is a terrible name for this. You have a mind that can track time, direction, and detail with uncanny precision. You always know which way is north. You always know how many hours before the next sunrise or sunset. You can accurately recall any information you heard. In my opinion, okay, what this is missing, and if I were to change them in any way, shape, or form, I would make Keen Mind. Here, let's. Is there an easy way for me to do this? Yeah. Seriously, I wanted you to clear formatting. God damn it. Okay, and then we'll do. All right. So here's how I would change these, okay? Here's how I would change these. I would take Keen Mind and I would oh wait, why is that zoomed in? That's zoomed in. That's making this more difficult than it needs to be. I would take Keen Mind and I would rename Keen Mind to something like Tracker or like Woodsman or Outdoorsman or Trailmaster. Honestly, I would probably lean towards Trailmaster. Okay? And I would make this be intelligence or wisdom. You always know which way is north. You don't need a compass. You always know how many hours are left in the day. You have a clock. And instead of you can accurately recall anything you've seen or heard in the past month, you can accurately retrace any path or trail you have taken in the past month. So right there, Trailmaster. You have a mind that can track time, direction, yeah, simple as that. Simple as that. You have a mind that can track time and direction with uncanny precision. Okay. Gain the following benefits. Increase your intelligence or wisdom by 1 to a maximum of 20. You always know which way is north. You always know the number of hours left in the day before sunrise or sunset. You can accurately retrace any path or trail you have taken in the past month. This has gone from being something that like everyone wants this. Everyone wants this. Okay? They do. But it's not really the best to have to take everything else just to get that. Okay? Then we go with Keen Mind. Increase intelligence by 1. You have a +5 bonus to your passive intelligence investigation. You have yeah. You know what? Here. Okay. There we go. That is probably what I would do if it was up to me. If I had to change these would be the 3 that would come out of it. Trailmaster seems like somebody would be good creating map. Yeah, it'd be a cartographer. That would be their thing. You know, increase your intelligence or wisdom score by 1. You always know which way is north. You always know how many hours are left before the next sunrise or sunset. You can accurately retrace any path or trail you've taken in the past month. You'd be a cartographer for sure. Keen Mind. Your memory and eye for detail are honed to a supernatural degree. Increase intelligence by 1. You can accurately recall minute details you have seen or heard within the past month. You have a +5 to your passive investigation. And Insightful. Quick to notice details of those around you. Increase wisdom by 1. If you can see a creature's mouth while it is speaking a language you understand, you can interpret what it's saying. +5 to wisdom, +5 to passive insight. There we go. The reason why I would do this, okay? The reason why I would do this, if we were messing with these, in my opinion, I think getting a +5 to passive perception is too powerful. I personally think Observant, because of the +5 to passive perception and passive investigation, it is too fucking powerful. And I stand by that. Passive perception in the right campaign, if you run games like I do, where, you know, a player can opt to, you know, use their passive score in lieu of their active role, so long as they were not taking part in any other activity at that time, having a +5 to passive perception basically means that player always has an advantage on perception checks. That's exactly what that means. You know, actually, I would also maybe change that to weak, because you would get minute details. Oh yeah, playing a trail master ranger, playing a ranger and taking trail master would be sick. If you were playing in a campaign that relied on exploration, trail master would be great, especially if you're playing a ranger. Bump that wisdom up by 1. You don't need a compass and you don't need a clock. Okay? If you know how many hours it is from sunrise to sunset, okay? And if in the game the sun rises most days around 6, 7 o'clock, and it sets around, you know, or like 7, 8 o'clock, the sun is rising or setting, you always know within the 12 hours where you are. It's like, okay, the sun rose today, you know, 4 hours ago. We still probably have 8 hours of sunlight, so it's probably about noon. You know, you don't need a clock, you don't need a compass, and you can accurately retrace any path or trail you've taken in the past month. You don't need, you know, as long as you can get somewhere, you can get back. Making like survival checks on a return journey unnecessary. So yeah, I mean, if I had to like separate those, again, I've never been a huge fan of observant. I think it's too powerful in my opinion. She's like dead asleep on my belly right now. I probably wouldn't call it insightful if it's only lip reading. But it's not only lip reading, it's also a +5 to insight. Like, that's the thing. Because that's the thing, like, keen mind is only that you can recall minute details that you've seen. This is that you can read somebody's lips and understand what they're saying. Like, that's technically it. Beyond that, it's a half feat and it gives you a +5 to your thing. You know, your keen mind, you know, you have a keen mind or you're insightful. I mean, this was just off the cuff. I mean, this is not anything, but I'm just saying, if I had to come up with something like that, this is what I would come up with. Getting rid of those two and, you know, taking these. So, but I think that's going to do it for me tonight, folks. We've been going for about 3 hours. This is like my first, you know, chill stream after being back from my bit of a hiatus. So I think I'm going to put the kid down, go downstairs, get a bite to eat, play some video games and relax for the night. So thanks for joining me, everybody. I really appreciate you hanging out. Definitely check out the Frostfell Adventure, PDF. If you're interested in it, it is available on my Patreon. It is also available over in the Discord. the Patreon, it's free on there. You don't have to join the Patreon. If you want to, you're more than welcome to. You can drop me $1 if you feel so inclined, but you are not required, and I do not want you to. But if you feel so inclined, I appreciate it greatly. Those dollars go to funding the other Patreons that I follow. So I appreciate that immensely. But yeah, and also, like I said, if you are interested in any of the stuff we're doing for Calendar's collection, head over to the Discord. You can get there by going to kelscorner.com and go over there and yeah, hang out, chat. If you're interested in the stuff that we're making, awesome. Share it at your table. Let me know how it works. And you know, I enjoy making this stuff, so I hope you guys like it. D&D Lego. Funny enough, I actually do plan on doing a stream later this week building some Legos. So there will be Legos with Lucas coming down the pipeline. We're gonna be making two little birds first off. So oh shit, I don't know if I can actually get both of these. Hold on. Yeah, I can. So blah, 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 blah. I don't know if I have a I don't know if I actually have a picture of this. Let me see. Oh, paying for the, yeah. Let me see. Where was I when I posted this picture? I don't even remember. Oh, there we go. 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 So, sorry, it took me a moment to find this. Yeah, so I made, I have these little birds. They're micro Legos. They're not Lego brands, but they're micro building blocks. I had 12 of them. I got them from Temu, and I had 12 of them. I took 7 of them to the hospital with me when my wife was giving birth, because we were at the hospital for 3 days, and I took these little birds there with me to build, to keep me occupied, and I built them all in 1 day. But we still have 2 more, and they're very fitting for this month's D&D theme, because they are pink and purple. They're little birds. So we'll be building these on the Lego stream as well. Each one of them takes about like 45 minutes or so. And then we'll be building some actual Legos. Well, not branded Legos, but like big Legos. We'll be building those in the day as well. Yes, all in 1 day. Yep. Hi, kid. Yep, I built these all in one day, so all 7 of them. Honestly, they're not that hard to put together. They are just a bear because of how tiny these pieces are. They are disgustingly small. And if you drop a piece, they are hard to find. Also, they have these ones that are flat. Like you can see these little cheek ones where they don't want the studs going up to look like feathers. They want it like round. Like these are very difficult to work with. But they are adorable. They are lining Kiva's nursery. So and the funny thing is, relating this back to D&D, when I was building these, it was taking me back to a thought. I'm surprised the hospital allowed. No, they were fine. They were totally fine with it. So the thing is that when I was building these, it was bringing me back to something I had read in D&D lore. And what that was is the depiction of Bahamut. So Bahamut, who is he's the dragon god of justice. He's like the father of dragons. He is the sibling, the rival of Tiamat. He is the good platinum dragon. In his humanoid form, when he decided to wander the mortal coil, he would normally look like an old human or a wizard, but he would always be presented and accompanied by 7 canaries, 7 gold canaries. And the thing is that this persona became known amongst mortal as Fizban the Fabulous. And if you know anything about more recent D&D book releases, Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, that is the same Fizban. So, I know very little about Harry Potter. But I kind of laughed because I said to the nurses, the fact that I had 7 was appropriate. It makes me like Bahamut, where I was accompanied by 7 birds to welcome into the world my daughter. So I am, Bahamut being the father of dragons. It felt appropriate, but you're trying to figure out. Well, that's easy. These are budgerigards, or budgies as they're known. Also known, people just know them as parakeets, but saying parakeet is like saying sedan or coupe. These are budgies. This is a cockatiel, which they're fairly common. What the fuck is this one? This is a kayik. I know this is a kayik. This is a dove, and this is a chickadee. And I want to say, I'm struggling. Oh no, that's right. No, this is just a lovebird. That's right. This is a lovebird. So, yeah, here we go. Yeah, hi, kid. Chickadee. At least I think that's chickadee. Yeah, so yeah, this is the budgie. That's the green one. We're all yellow headed, but you know, most budgies look like that. But that's the two budgies. That is the cockatiel. Very common birds. This is the lovebird. Little orange faced lovebird. They're fucking adorable. This is a kayik. So they are the clowns of the bird world. They are adorable. Go and look up kayiks. They're fucking hilarious, and they bounce around like goofballs. I think the brown one is a chickadee. I know it's not an owl, but it might be an owl. It might be a barn owl. Or it might be like one of those like small little like pygmy owls. But I don't know. I don't think it's that, because it would have orange eyes, in my opinion. To me, I think it might be like a chickadee or something like that. And then lastly, and obviously, a dove, you know, a straight up dove. So, but yeah, I left the dove there, actually. I left the dove there at the hospital with the nurses. So I told them, you know, they were very nice to us. They were very kind. And I told them I wanted them to keep that as a token of our appreciation. So, but yeah, so that's it. And like I said, we'll be making, we're making two more. The one, these two basically look like, the one looks like a pink version of the chickadee, and the other one looks like a purple budgie. So, which there are purple budgies. There are, that is a thing. So, yeah, there are actual purple budgies. They do exist. So, yep. It's just, so the thing about birds, is there's different factors. So there's different factors of birds. So for example, you can have budgies are oftentimes right here. Okay. This is often the colors you will find with budgies, but you can find budgies that are like deep blue, like these two. Okay. So this would be like a deep blue factor budgie. But you can have ones that get so deep that it's like a purple. So, because I had a budgie like that once, and he was awesome. But yeah, so that's what we'll be building. So yeah, I don't know if that's going to be Wednesday or Friday, but it'll be one of those days probably. But thank you for joining me, hanging out tonight. Really appreciate it. We'll have more Kiva Cam as we go along, and you know, I have the baby here with me. So You've had all sorts of pets. I had 14 birds at one point. So I had 14 birds. I've had chameleons, multiple lizards, Malleuramastics, 2 tortoises, numerous hamsters, guinea pigs, all kinds of fish. Yeah, we've watched different birds. I've been around birds my entire life. And then we've had dogs, and we've had a cat, but it ran away. So is what it is. All right, but thanks for joining me, everyone. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and keeping me company and just kind of letting me talk about my D&D stuff. So thanks for joining me tonight. I will see you guys throughout the week, and maybe while I have some time off, I'll be doing some more extra streams, but I don't know yet. So we'll see how that goes, because this little one does take up a lot of my time now. So thanks for joining me, everyone. Enjoy your evening. Stay safe out there. Use a condom and all that good stuff. Get your pets spayed and neutered. Keeping Bob Barker's spirit alive. Thanks, everyone. Bye.